This is the Roseselsa Quiet C2, an in-ear monitor sent to me by HifiGO. Before we continue, I just want to say, everything you hear in this video is my own opinion, and I did not get paid for by anybody to say anything about these headphones, alright? So, here we go. First, let's start the housekeeping. This is a single dynamic driver, single 10mm dynamic driver IEM, 19 ohms of impedance, 129 dBs of sensitivity, which means this thing is very easy to drive. You can power it off an Apple dongle, even half powered Apple dongles from the EU, or if you use it with an Android, you can do it. You get plenty of volume, plenty of sound quality out of Apple dongle or anything for that matter. I've tried straight out of my laptop, I've tried out of my desktop, or if you're really feeling fancy, you can do it with a headphone amp and just keep it in low gain so you don't blow your eardrums out when you're listening. Currently, it is listed at $70 in HifiGo's website, AliExpress, and other websites for $70. It comes in this very beautiful silver color, or a very nice blue color that reminds me a little bit of the burnt titanium or like heated titanium, where it kind of discolored. It kind of looks like that, but just a straight up blue. And next, let's look at the box. Well, in case you guys don't notice, in the last couple of videos, I have this box in the corner. And this is actually the Roseselsa's box, the Quiet C2's box right here. All right. So, on the outside, of course, you got waifu or cartoon child. There's information, the specs about this headphone: 10mm ultra linear driver, comfortable Lalo triangle cavity, whatever that means, and dual magnetic circuit design, all the fun stuff. You guys can read yourself. Pause the video and just read it yourself. All right. Now let's actually go inside. Let's dig in. Okay, this is actually surprisingly hard to get in, which is actually nice. It gives this premium air of premiumness that kind of Apple product kind of gives. So inside is this. You got this right here, and then you open it. You can see a very nice blow up of what's inside and the construction of the headphones or the IEMs themselves. Let's take this piece out right here. And of course, when it was new, the IEM, when I got it, the IEM sits in here. And this is an accessory pack. Let's take the accessory box out. And let's see what's inside. Okay, inside this accessory box, we got, we have a very swappable 4.4mm balance tip, which you can kind of unscrew this ring here. You can unscrew this ring, and okay, it's actually kind of hard to pull, but there's a little arrow to make sure it lines up the pins correctly. There's 4 pins in there. It's a little hard to unplug just because how nice and smooth this CNC or aluminum connector here. It's very nice. It's just a little hard to pull apart when you want to switch to the 4.4mm balance. Now, since we're on the topic of 4.4mm balance cables, because I don't have any equipment or amps with a balance output, if one of you guys have a balance DAC amp or something laying around, please send it to me, I guess. And maybe HifiGo, you guys can send me a Gadon Pro or something along the lines to review other IEMs with balance as well. You also got some gel tips that's a little thicker than the silicone tip. I haven't tried it with the gel tip, though. I only use this, I think this is a medium silicone tip, and it's very comfortable, sounds great. And there's also a little bit of surprise in the box. We got waifus, or waifu, a singular waifu. So we have Roseselsa. All right, I presume this is Roseselsa's mascot. So a little nice acrylic stand that I presume you can put your headphones on. So right here. And you also got some very cute chibi stickers of Roseselsa in here. Alright, let's put these away. And one thing I wish this pair of IEM came with is a carrying case or a little pouch thing going on for it. So, you know, I don't scratch up the beautiful aluminum. Let's move these stuff away. So, here's the thing, right? Now, physically, these things are very solidly built. You can see here, this part is aluminum. The chassis is very clean, very comfortable. I've wear this for hours of study sessions and it's supremely comfortable. It doesn't bother me and it's just very well built. The cable is nice. It's a fabric cable. It's soft. It's not microphonic or not super microphonic. It's a little bit, like very little bit of microphonicness, but it's really not microphonic at all, so you won't hear it rubbing against your shirt or if you have a beer, rubbing against your beer, right? Back to the construction, you can see a bit of aluminum out here, the plastic here, you can see a bit of the drivers in there. Overall, it is a very comfortable, very solidly built minimalist headphone or IEM. And if you bring it a little closer, okay, this camera's not focusing. Okay, so let's have a little bass port here with quiet C2 just kind of laser engraved in there, right there. Now, back to the headphones and to the most important part. How does it sound, right? And you know how I like using food or drink as an analogy for headphones or IEMs in this case. And for the Quiet C2, I would say this thing is a cup of mocha cappuccino. Why is that? It's, you know, mocha is a little bit sweet, it's chocolatey, and so this thing is same. It got a good bass thump. It got good sub bass, a little bit emphasized, which is actually very good, very pleasantly emphasized and tastefully tuned. So with some little hints of like a bit of chocolate, giving it some sweetness compared to the more plain latte or cappuccino. And because it is a cappuccino, it's also got a little bit more bite. So the upper mids in this IEM have a little bit more bite where a lot of this more powerful female vocals sounds very good in these. So some test track I've listened to, of course, since there's anime in the box, I've got to listen to anime songs. So Tears of the Orphan by MISIA from Gundam Iron Blooded Orphan. This sounds very powerful, very intense, just like how the song is meant to be. So I think this do the song very good, very justice. And of course, powerful female vocal. You can't not talk about or can't listen or can't do it justice without listening to Celine Dion, like arguably one of the most powerful female singer there is. And this is phenomenal. This do Celine Dion complete justice. Additionally, sticking to the anime theme, I have listened to quite a bit of AmaLee's or Lee and Lee or Monarch's covers of anime songs, and specifically the Sailor Moon theme song, which I'm not going to try to pronounce because I'm going to butcher it, but it's a Sailor Moon theme song, it's her cover of it, and this IEM handled it really well because on that song it is very busy. There's a lot of guitars, a lot of drums, a lot of stuff going on, and the instrument separation in these things are very well. It doesn't get mushed together, it doesn't get blurry, and most importantly, it's not trebly. It's got a good treble, it's V-shaped, but it's not sibilant. It's not like my Sonaris 4, which is sibilant mountain. This thing sounds detailed, so even on more delicate and laid-back music like Leve, it still sounds phenomenal. This thing can pretty much do it all. Now, let's see how does it compare to more normal tuned headphones. And by normal, I meant Harman tuned, and the only other Harman tuned device I have is this thing, the Galaxy Buds Pro, the original one from, I don't know, like 6 years ago, I think. So Samsung is your very textbook typical Harman tuned IEMs, or TWS in this case. I've also compared. Okay, when in comparison to a more traditionally Harman tune or Harman IE sound signature, which I have 2 examples of, which is a Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro and a AKG N400, which I left in the garage, so I don't have it with me on my desk, but I have them. And I mainly use them for exercise or just doing outdoor stuff, which is actually pretty good. But in comparison from the Quiet C to the AKG's mids sound a more balanced, more flat, and also less sub bass compared to the Quiet C2. So the Quiet C2 definitely have a stronger bass, a little bit more bass even, but not muddy. At the same time, part of the mids, it feels a little bit recessed, even though in music where there's not a lot of bass going on, maybe it's just the contrast of the upper mids where it makes the lower mid feels a little bit more recessed. So we really have to look at an actual frequency response graph to see what's actually happening, but that's what my ears is telling me. So in comparison, the Quiet C makes the Galaxy Buds Pro sounds a little clinical, right? A little bit more flat, not as fun. So the Quiet C2, I would actually pick the Quiet C2 over the Galaxy Buds 2. Well, actually no, it's just the Buds Pro, not the Buds 2. But I would pick the Quiet C over the Buds Pro just because like a little bit more bass, a little bit more V-shaped, more fun sounding for everyday listening. And one more thing, obviously, I have to say, I don't have a Samsung device or an Android device where I can fully utilize all the good Bluetooth codec, right? So I want to be fair to the Samsung because it definitely loses out on some detail and maybe some dynamics or something. Sound quality, I'm not listening to the Samsung and its best sound quality, so I can't judge it because it's really just connected to my iPhone via regular Apple AAC Bluetooth codec. And this one, even with Apple dongle, which is like straight up wire analog connection, it sounds phenomenal. It does well. And Quiet C just beats the Galaxy Buds, right? Like the coloration is very tasteful, it's very good. And overall, at $70, this is a very competent IEM, very nice, sounds very good. It's not clinical or neutral, and plus neutral kind of sucks anyway, right? Being neutral is just boring, and the tasteful coloration, the mild V shape, give it some extra bass, some extra oomph, and upper mids that just makes female vocals shine very brightly. I love this song. Not the song, I love this IEM, and I would recommend it. If maybe not over the other ones, actually. I don't know. I haven't listened to all of its competitor at $80, which is this. It's definitely competent IEM. And since we mentioned frequency response earlier, its user manual, yes, we're back in the user manual, also provides a frequency response graph, which I'll take a picture and post in the screencast, which look like this, right? However, the headphone doesn't sound like what this frequency response graph looks like. This frequency response graph looks like what my Sonor's 4 sounds like, with like a big treble peak, or maybe upper mid. Maybe it is what it sounds like, the big upper mid bit, but maybe like the scaling is a little different, and it should have more bass than the graph suggests. So we really need to look for more third-party verified or measured frequency response. And overall, this headphone, it's good. There's no super obvious flaw, and even if you don't like the emphasis on the upper mids, you can very easily just EQ down that frequency region, which according to this, oh man, I can't even see it. which I think like you can easily EQ it away and to your liking, and it's not a super hard area to EQ. So yeah, yeah, and thanks for watching. I'm definitely gonna do more reviews, and sorry for like the lack of quality on the later half because camera died, so I had to use a backup camera and use a different mic. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm definitely gonna have more reviews coming up. I'm gonna have a review with the COS ESP95X, the electrostatic one, and I'm also gonna have a HiFi Mandeva review. I know like they're not like the super most recent headphone, but I think they definitely bring some interesting characteristic to the headphone environment that we should talk about a little bit more. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Wish you guys have a very nice day, and yeah, bye.